Hey y'all, coming at you with December 2018 promotions, but remember, this information is good. What? For all times, right? I know, I say it every time, but it's true. We want to talk about frankincense, and then at the same token, I'm going to talk about frankincense vitality because I love the fact that frankincense comes in both forms. Now, really quick, Young Living is absolutely brilliant, and if you don't already know this, this is why. They have created a way that we can identify from across the room whether or not an oil is safe to ingest. In other words, safe to take internally. They've eliminated all the guesswork out of it by simply putting a different color label on it. So if you see a bottle of oil with a white label on it, that means that oil is safe for ingestion. So what you ingest it for is up to you. Just know that it's going to be okay because it has been FDA approved to take it internally. Now, if you see it in the colorful label, that means that it is labeled for topical and aromatic use. Now, there is zero difference between this oil and this oil. They are the same oil. They come out of the same vat, the same batch, with different labels on them. This is simply Young Living's a genius way of letting you know which oils you can use for ingestion and which ones you can use for topical aromatics. You will never get confused. But I'm going to dive into frankincense in general, and we're going to talk about ingestion. We're going to talk about topical aromatic uses because this is a wonderful oil that does pretty much everything. We're not going to touch on everything today, but let's just kind of dive in. First of all, it's been around for thousands of years. Frankincense, as you know, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You've probably heard that story before at Christmas time, right? Those are the gifts that were the Magi brought to the Christ child. Frankincense was absolutely invaluable back in the day. It was worth more than gold. People would weigh their wealth by the amount of frankincense that they had, not the amount of gold coin, under their mattress. And it was traded all up and down the Middle Eastern regions because of its medicinal qualities, because of its spiritual component, because of all of the things that it did. And let's be honest, everybody in the modern world would probably say they'd rather have some dollar bills, but at the end of the day, dollar bills can't buy your health, and frankincense is your bill of health, right? Frankincense could be used for every application under the sun, and when it really came down to it, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, right? So frankincense was highly prized. Now in today's modern era, we've kind of flipped that upside down, and we've assumed that we can use our dollar bills to buy modern medicine, and to some degree we can, but maintaining that health and wellness regimen, that's what we're talking about back in the day, right? So let's talk about how do you obtain frankincense. First of all, it is not like the other essential oils, and this is why I love it so much. It can only be grown in a certain region of the world, and it cannot be grown anywhere else. It likes the dry and arid climate. It's a very tenacious, it's a tough and rugged tree, and the way that they obtain the frankincense is actually by nicking the sap off of, nicking the bark off of the tree, and then a sticky sap resin oozes out, and then they will take that resin and distill it. So there's a multi-step process in a frankincense tree, and the same tree that we're getting this bottle of oil from would have hundreds and hundreds of years ago also been producing the same oil. So these trees are tenacious. They last for a really, really long time, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years. Ancient trees, they are very, very sacred. It is said that Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt, actually invested in huge frankincense groves. It was a major trade back in the day. It has fallen off only because in the last 100 years, we've chased after modern medicine and we've chased after Western medicine and pharmaceuticals. But there will come a day when frankincense is going to come back into play heavier than it ever was before, when people start realizing that modern pharmaceuticals are not necessarily the answer that they thought that they were, right? They're really good for some things, but nothing can replace wellness, right? And a regular regimen. So on that note, let's talk about some uses. First of all, understand frankincense is full of sesquiterpenes. Go Google what a sesquiterpene does. It helps to carry oxygen into your brain, and that increases spiritual awareness. It elevates the mood. It does all these incredible emotional things. That is why the Lord gave it to Moses as a prescription for the holy incense back in the Old Testament, right? Because he understood the concept that these sesquiterpenes and the burning of frankincense and the smelling of its aromatic takes you to a higher level. So it's very mood elevating. It puts you in the spiritual attunement realm that most people don't ever get to. you know, on a regular basis. So that's what sesquiterpenes do. They do incredible things at the cellular level that you can go and Google. They have a very it has a very stimulating and focusing aroma. It's kind of like a honey-like woodsy fragrance. So it's not like anything else on planet Earth. Used to enhance prayer and meditation. It alleviates nervous energy, right? You got a person who sits there drumming their pen or tap, 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 put a little frankincense in, and you will notice that the tapping will just kind of slowly stop, and they'll be able to focus more on what you're saying. But also amazing for immune system. I have been known to keep frankincense in the shower, right? Because it's an ancient oil of beauty. So put a little frankincense on your face, take a little drop under the tongue, because it's incredible for immune system support, and it just does all kinds of good stuff inside our bodies as well. That is why it comes in a Vitality line. Apply a couple drops of frankincense to the back of the neck for brain health and support and focus. Diffuse it for relaxing meditative experience. Put it in your favorite skin moisturizer because it's amazing for the skin. Rub it under the eyes if you got some circles under there. I know a lot of ladies who love to do that. Joint and muscle support. You guys, frankincense topically on location. Bam, right there. You're going to stop feeling like you're 85 and feeling like you're 35 in a matter of minutes. I'm just saying. Reduce the appearance of uneven skin tones. I know people who spot treat with frankincense around on their face, those little dark age spots. Add it to other blends. It blends really, really well with other things because it just brings a dimension to the other oils that you're using. There is a really incredible book out there on aromatherapy called the Aroma Freedom Technique, and I won't get into the weeds with it, but equal parts of lavender, stress away, and frankincense, and mix that together into a roller ball or just a bottle and just inhale that, and you will think you have gone to heaven. So frankincense is an incredible oil with over 10,000 uses. I cannot name them all here. You're just going to go out and get yourself on ER and get yourself a bottle for free in December of 2018. Talk to you later.